As of yesterday, World War II has officially ended in the victory of the Allied powers. This broadcast is to remind you, citizens, of the horrifying acts carried out by the Nazi regime during this World War. The Holocaust was carried out by the Nazis in Germany during World War II between September 1st, 1939 and September 2nd, 1945. It was a systematic genocide of millions of Jews, along with other minority groups including homosexuals, disabled individuals, and others deemed unfit by the Nazi ideology. Discriminatory propaganda. The Nazi regime employed propaganda to shape public opinion and foster anti-Semitic sentiment. The propaganda was aimed at creating a negative image of Jews and portraying them as a threat to the German nation. The Nazi propaganda included cartoons, posters, speeches, and articles, which portrayed Jews as evil and subhuman. They were labeled as parasites, criminals, and enemies of the state, which paved the way for the systematic persecution and eventual extermination. Discriminatory policies and laws. The Nazi regime implemented discriminatory policies and laws aimed at restricting the rights and freedom of Jews and other minority groups. The first of these was the Nuremberg Laws in 1935, which deprived Jews of their citizenship and prohibited them from marrying or having sexual relationships with Germans. Jews were also stripped from owning businesses, attending school, or practicing any profession. These laws stripped Jews of their basic human rights and made them vulnerable to persecution and violence. Now, before the examples, a word from our sponsors.
Now you sit right down here. And don't you touch anything.
All right, Mama.
Hello, Mary. Why, what's the matter?
Nothing. I'm just sitting here waiting for my mother.
How about a bottle of Coca-Cola?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Pumpkin.
In November 1938, Kristallnacht, also known as the Night of Broken Glass, took place. It was a coordinated attack by Nazi officials and civilians on Jewish homes, businesses, and synagogues. The violence resulted in the destruction of over 7,000 Jewish-owned businesses, the burning of 267 synagogues, and the murder of at least 91 Jews. It marked as a turning point in the persecution of Jews, as it demonstrated the government's willingness to use violence against them. The Einsatzgruppen were special units of the Schutzstaffel, and the police tasked with rounding up and exterminating Jews and other minorities in the territories occupied by Nazi Germany. The Einsatzgruppen operated in Poland, Ukraine, and other parts of Eastern Europe. They used mass shootings as their primary method of killing, resulting in the deaths of over 1 million people. Auschwitz was the largest and most infamous of the Nazi concentration and extermination camps. Located in Poland, it was the site of the mass murder of an estimated 1.1 million people, mostly Jews. The camp had gas chambers, crematoria, and barracks, which housed the prisoners in inhumane conditions. The camp was liberated by Soviet forces in January 1945. The Holocaust resulted in the deaths of approximately 6 million Jews, representing 2/3 of the Jewish population in Europe at the time. Additionally, it resulted in the deaths of millions of other minorities deemed unfit by the Nazi regime. The genocide was carried out in numerous locations across Europe, including concentration camps, ghettos, and killing centers. In conclusion, the Holocaust was a brutal and systematic genocide carried out by the Nazi regime, targeting Jews and other minority groups. Discriminatory propaganda, policies, and laws were used to marginalize and persecute those groups, ultimately leading to their extermination. The events and locations mentioned above provide just a glimpse into the horrors of this genocide. We pray for the countless fallen soldiers who sacrificed their lives against evil. Their efforts helped aid the end of this bloody war. That concludes the broadcast.